LRH is the man. Is David Mayo the man? Is Miscavige the man? No, because we all had good wins at the beginning of the bridge, and when we got started, it was all LRH, and so LRH is the guy. That's our stable datum. So let's look at one of the first bridges that I ran into was this bridge here, and they recently put out a DVD, and they had like they didn't have any OT levels. They had power above, clear, 0 to 4, then clear, and then they had an R6 solo process, and the most I can dig out of this was like GPM running, goals, problems, and maths, different types of processes. This was 1965. There is a 1960. Where is that 1960 bridge? Is it a 1960 bridge? No?
The red behind it?
No.
No, okay.
That's a 66.
Okay, that's it. That's all.
So let's go on to 66. And this is still LRH, as far as we know. And the now we have clear up here. There's no OT levels above it. We have the subject you audit out is the reactive mind. Okay, and it says erasure of entire reactive mind, total freedom and beingness. Okay, that's 1966. Now, where's 60? Oh. In 1970, let me see, 67, of course, we find that he has discovered OT3, and the bridge changes. And now we have actual OT levels. We have clearer, which is freedom from ability to be a cause or mental, matter, energy, space, and time. That particular definition lasted for the longest before RTC changed it, or David Mayo. And then we do OT1 all the way up to OT7. And these are the original OT levels, and that's 1970. Pretty good bridge, huh? This is the last bridge that Hubbard created himself before David Mayo helped create the next one, which is 1978. And this is a 75 bridge. It's got the levels. It's got drug rundown, power, all the original OT levels, OT8 not released. This is a real good bridge. We like this bridge. Okay, this is the bridge I got trained on. All right. Now, in 1978, there was a bulletin that came out. And before I go to 1978, I'm going to read you something. This is the David Mayo on the origins of knots. David Mayo worked with L. Ron Hubbard to create knots levels in early '96. He wrote a letter, David, introducing himself to Alta Religion Scientology community. That's in the internet. In which he summarized his history with the church. In this excerpt from his never published letter, Mayo described how he came to co-audit the knots materials. Okay, so David actually went to court. And as we all know, sued the church and proved in court that he did co-audit the knots materials. So, for the first time, in 1970, the 1978 bridge could be found in here. By the way, I strung it up here in this white and black, just so you get some idea what I'm talking about. And it can be found in here. And if you don't have to get close on this, but David Mayo put knots, new aerodynamics for OTs, right above OT3. This is where it was first put. This is where David felt it should be. That's where we do knots, actually, right after OT4, actually, because it was changed from 4, and then it was changed up to past OT7, and then, of course, made into OT levels by David Miscavige and his buddies. He says here, in late 78, I was hurriedly and secretly whisked off to California and driven blindfold in the night to a secret location in the desert at La Fuente near Palm Springs. Hubbard's health had deteriorated. I was told that his blood pressure, breathing rate, and heartbeat were low. A medical doctor was also a Scientologist, Gene Denk, I think that's the way you pronounce it, was in attendance, standing by to restart his heart with electric shock. Now, as we all know, by this time, in 1978, late 1978, Hubbard had a stroke and was lying in his bed dying when David arrived. I was told he had been this way for about a week, was getting worse, and over the past day had been slipping in and out of a coma. When I first saw him, he was lying on his back, unmoving, neither speaking nor responding when spoken to, with his eyes open, staring at the ceiling and not moving. The doctor told me that there was nothing he could do for Hubbard, and now it was up to me. I started with techniques that required no verbal response, then minimal verbal response during short but frequent sessions, changing to techniques that required more participation on his part. As his condition improved, his condition did improve, which happened rapidly. Within a week, he was getting out of bed and walking and beginning to yell again. Hubbard and others said that I saved his life. Skeptics might say that it was not due to techniques I used, but a mere coincidence. This is David Mayo talking, continued to audit Hubbard, developing procedures and later co-authoring the descriptions and theoretical explanations of what would later be called knots. So, here's a guy developing techniques with Hubbard, co-developing techniques. Of course, we are told that at this point in '78 that knots was developed by Hubbard. It was, this is what the public is told. This is what I was told. Later, as I said, Mayo proved it in court that he helped develop it. All right. I'm going to read the whole thing because I'll let you read it on the website. I'll skip down to another paragraph here, and where David says, I started to write up discoveries, phenomena, and procedures developed during the auditing. The above is more or less what I initiated, had in mind to describe in regard to repair of remedies of auditing I've done that assisted Hubbard's recovery. I felt that these observations and methods would be valuable to other Scientologists who had been run extensively on Dianetics and OT3. So when I talked to David about this, he said that the knots was an assist. It wasn't an OT level. David Miscavige, it was an assist, not OT levels. And just in case David sees this.